Welcome to the World Staffing Summit Award interview sessions with our top 100 staffing leaders to watch in 2023. My guest today is Daniel, the Chief Vision Officer of Staffing A to Z Incorporated. Thank you so much, Daniel, for your time today. I'm super excited to hear your thoughts on the industry.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Cool. Before we jump into a few questions, Daniel, tell us a little bit more about yourself and your business. I know you have a few things going on right now.
Yeah, not a problem at all. So currently I work as the Chief Vision Officer of Staffing A to Z. Staffing A to Z is basically a management company that basically was really built for the light industrial and MSP sector of our staffing industry. And I have the privilege of kind of working with the overall ecosystem in, strategic partnerships and, third-party relationships, that basically help our ecosystem go around. And basically what we set out to do was basically build a staffing company to the MSP where we actually look at them as our end client, not necessarily the programs that they support, and really stay innovation and, kind of pioneer focused in the way that we work within the MSP and VMS space to support high volume light industrial staffing with a vendor on-premise focus. We were really cognizant that, technology doesn't always work great independently. So that vendor on-premise was really to blend, people and technology to work together to deliver a solution differently than just traditional staffing in the market.
Awesome. That sounds really interesting. And I know, I think you just sort of started that business a couple of years ago, from what I understood, right?
Yeah, we have. We've done a really good job. We started and closed our Series A round in June of 2021, which is really where we kind of physically started the clock in the growth. And as of last month, we were up to almost 35 million in revenue. So it's
Wow.
been really quickly.
Congrats. I guess you have goals for this year. So I'm always asking the staffing leaders, what are your goals for 2023? Anything in particular that you really focus on, you want to achieve in this year?
Yeah, absolutely. So our number one goal that we have in sight right now is being the fastest growing company to 100 million. And we have a very clear path on how to get there. The second thing is, basically staying innovative in the way that we're using technology, specifically with the vendor management systems and the MSPs, more from a partnership perspective. One of our logos is a boomerang for Shift Fillers, which is our public facing brand and the, group that basically supports our operations in the field. But that boomerang really was a key status for us in terms of what we were trying to develop. Right now, a lot of our systems and technologies in the industry tend to only go one direction, right? So you have companies like Job Robotics pulling jobs in from the vendor managements to ATSs. For us, what we're trying to do is really build an ecosystem that goes full life cycle. So not just jobs, but pushing candidates in time, the full basically mid to back office transitions holistically between, the ATSs and third-party softwares we use, and making it easier for people to operate in the high volume capacity, that is really cumbersome and, just the data integrity and just the way that people typically operate in this. And so, it's been a main goal of ours since we started. We've started really multiple key integrations with the major VMS partners in the space. And we're about 3/4 of the way there. So, this year is a really big focus of getting that over the goal line 100% with the key partners we have.
Perfect. That sounds great. And, and talking about technology and innovation on the client side at the World Staffing Summit, we talked a lot about client experience and how important that is. What do you think are, the expectations from your clients? Do you see any shift in how clients want to work with staffing providers? Anything that they expect from you in the next coming years? Anything that you can tell us on that side, maybe?
Absolutely. So, the benefit of working with MSPs, right, is like we really are getting insight to not just domestic need, but a global need and, the expectations, that the clients are kind of pushing downstream, right? One of the hottest topics in our conversations in staffing for the last, I'd say, year or so has really been the direct sourcing and this like kind of coined term of total talent management. As we basically, people are forecasting us obviously being on the cusp of recession. And, obviously when people tend to do that, right, they start eliminating, costs, which typically is people in these ecosystems. Well, each vertical, in my opinion, right, changes a little bit in that dynamic, right? Like light industrial, we tend to be last ones in, first ones out. Tech right now, you're seeing it all over the place with, key, companies, like Uber Freight and things of that nature, letting go of, a lot of these, more higher professional ecosystems. But, what my simple definition of direct sourcing, right, it's it's like the RPO for contingent labor, right? So it's a more cost efficient manner of being able to handle the high volumes and things like that. And the expectations I see is that, these clients that are especially working on global scale is, they want to deal with maybe one or two key partners that can really overall, recruit, for the entire ecosystem. And then, it's, obviously light industrial for us is the higher volumes of things. That tends to be where the gap is in some of the professional services to these, so we're looking at very key relationships, joint ventures, things of that nature that allow us to be able to handle holistic ecosystems and, kind of work together and blend traditional staffing and this direct sourcing model, which once again, those shared visions amongst the MSPs give us the ecosystems to actually deliver that, and then work with third-party total talent management partnerships like, Taleo, Oracle, those types of things, and come up with easier ways to really, service an entire ecosystem. So, I think those things are really going to be crucial for companies to pay attention to, and figure out how to verticalize, because, you start limiting the capacity of what you can do, when you get into the global scale.
Absolutely. Those are really great insights. And, with the rapid change of the industry, I know we talked a little bit about now the direct sourcing movement. Any other opportunities that you see in the market that are super interesting that maybe others don't agree on overall?
Yeah, I think, for me, once again, I think, the perception of, that, technology in our world, right, is ready for this change, I think is a misconception. We've been sitting here. I've been in the industry over a decade. I worked, in big three staffing. Then I've started and sold multiple, independent firms over the last couple of years. And the reality is our tech is just staying stagnant. Like there is a lot of people, that are bringing tools, to the ecosystems that help, kind of the third party world. But we are still a very far way away from a holistic, singular enterprise solution, that basically manages the entire ecosystem. And, I think it's going to take, combinations of MSPs, technology partners, and, the actual end clients working together in unison on shared visions and goals to ever progress us forward. And, you see a lot of people that are tech driven, trying to build tech for operations, but they don't really understand operations. You have some operations building pieces of tech that make the ecosystems easier, but it's really a blended power, in my opinion, of these three key components that actually are going to revolutionize and push the industry forward.
Awesome. Those are really great insights. Thank you so much, Daniel, for your time today. It was really great talking to you. And I'm really excited to follow your path to the 100 million. Hopefully, you'll be able to crack it sooner than later. So hopefully we can catch up next year again. See you at the World Staffing Summit, as well as on the leaders list, and stay in touch.
Yeah, sounds great. Thanks so much for having me. You have a good day.
See you soon. Bye-bye.